Alright, so another quick update. The car is back together. Alright, so basically what happened was these two teeth here just kind of broke off. And I'm not even sure if they actually broke. I mean, like, they're just gone. Like, I couldn't find them inside the transmission. I couldn't find them inside the oil. I did find fragments. So those teeth just straight up disintegrated. So basically what I did... Yeah, so my buddy Greg and my buddy George, and George is the other black guy with a turbo Escort, he blew his transmission up, but his was on the secondary shaft, and it was on the differential. It was on the, what do you call it, the pinion gear at the bottom of the shaft. So basically, what I did was I went and took the primary shaft, which is this shaft, from his transmission that was sitting in the scrap bin, and me and Greg just threw it into my transmission. I'm not sure how good that's going to be for longevity, you know, because, I mean, you'd imagine over time the gears kind of wear into each other, and, you know, taking one from one transmission and throwing it in another, things may not mesh well, but whatevs. So, anyways, car drives. Went ahead and took it for a test drive. I'll put a clip in probably here. Car drive's fine. I'm not going to beat on it too much, although I did beat on it tonight a little bit. Had to make sure it was actually going to hold, you know, together under power. But I'm not going to beat on it too much because I'm going to save it for the track. So as soon as the weather clears up, throwing the slicks on. Well, I'm not going to throw the slicks on and head to the track, but I'm going to head to the track and then throw the slicks on and basically just send it. And if this transmission blows up, it's not a big deal because I purchased another transmission. That transmission happens to have a limited slip and some other goodies built into it that should help it last a little longer, if not indefinitely, but we'll see. So I should be picking that up sometime next week, but I'm not going to throw it in right away. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to send this transmission to the graveyard before I put the other one in. And chances are I probably won't actually send this one to the graveyard. I'll probably actually just, or junkyard, same difference I guess. If this one breaks again, and as long as it doesn't break the case, I'll probably just rebuild it again and then just keep it as a spare. So I mean that's the key. As long as it doesn't break the case, we should be good. And normally the only time they break the case is when the differential goes. If the differential goes, it sends the spider gears flying out the pumpkin on the back. So yeah, so that's pretty much it. I did have one other thing that I was going to make a video about, but I'm probably not. I'll probably just talk about it a little bit. I was having some fueling issues. Basically, at the top of each gear, the car was just going lean. I'd add more pulse width to the injectors, or I tuned the VE table to be richer. The pulse widths got higher, the duty cycles got higher, but the car did not get any richer. So I thought the fuel pump was possibly bad, or maybe just not big enough at the Walbro 250 or 255, so it should be big enough for E85, but so I thought perhaps it was the fuel pump. It kind of was the fuel pump, but it wasn't the fuel pump itself. The problem was the wiring going to the fuel pump. This is a pretty common thing where you have to, sorry if it's a little dark in here, where you have to run some heavy gauge wiring back to a relay and basically hot wire the fuel pump. I mean, hot wire is kind of a sloppy term for it. But yeah, basically there's a relay wired in. The original power for the fuel pump activates the relay. This relay is connected directly to the battery, so gives you more power to the pump. I was a bit skeptical, you know, thinking, you know, the factory wiring, you know, it's like 14 gauge or something, but it's doubled up. So I figured it's probably big enough. But when I tested the voltage back here with the car running, I was only getting about 10 to 11 volts with the car running. from 14 volts, you know. So that was pretty bad. With the relay installed, with the hot wire job done, I'm getting 14 volts to the fuel pump. What that equated to was, with the way the car was tuned, didn't change anything. I was running mid 12 AFRs up top when I was in boost, and I couldn't get it any richer than that. Just by adding this hot wire and not changing anything else in the car, my AFRs dropped to 10.4. It basically went pig rich because all of a sudden now the fuel pump's actually working the way it's supposed to work. So that's a good thing. I don't have a gauge on the regulator or anything because I'm running the factory regulator. So I don't know what my fuel pressure is. Really don't care. It probably would have been helpful to know that before, but so yeah, hot wire fuel pump fixed my fuel starvation issue up top. So now I've got plenty of fuel. Should have plenty of room to crank the boost up a little bit more, and still run safe AFRs. So yeah, that's pretty much the plan. Is as soon as the weather clears, as soon as we get a nice, clear, sunny day, you know, it doesn't even have to be sunny. It just can't fucking rain. So if we get a day where it's not raining, going to the track, throwing on the slicks, cranking up the boost, and gonna send it. Till next time.